So when Elaine encouraged me to, talk about the most important thing, well, the whole thing is that God's been showing me things from the start. And the thing about the how to get out of Babylon, that happened, actually that started right here in the Ivory Tower. Had like a dream, vision or whatever, and just broke me up, and then that's what led to me putting together a book and website over the years. And then when sometimes people, I was going to touch on a little thing here. I talk to people and I say, don't tell people to come here, we don't want people here. Well, yeah, we do. But this is a long-term, I'm looking at a long-term situation. This is what I've been given to do. And there's reasons for that. Number one, I've written, there's a bunch of people going up here, Flathead Valley. It's the northwest, what do you call it?
Idaho.
Northwest, flag, northwest, but they call it the readout states. Mm-hmm. And I've gone a round or two with James Wesley Rawls. He's, Christian. Chuck Baldwin is, one of them that went up there. And on one of the groups, the guy made a comment. He says, I think there's going to be a rapture of sorts. Mm-hmm. Meaning, what he meant by that was a separating of sheep and goats. Wow. I said, I agree with you on principle, but actually I agree with you in fact and in reality, because that's what I see happening. What you see in here, there's literally millions of people. I mean, I know thousands of people in that region who have been brought here under, just eerie series of coincidences how we got here. Like if we lined up, we would take our entire family to sit down and write a history of how in the world this happened. We got here. And so same thing, we knew a pastor and his wife in Denver, Colorado, Lakewood. We'd been to their church, a little Pentecostal church, but the interesting thing about it was they understood that America was Israel and Britain, was Israel, Manasseh and Ephraim. They taught that. Well, guess what? We left in '97. 2 years ago, there's a newsletter that Julie Turner's been publishing. She got married and stopped doing it, but 27 issues, and I think it was published quarterly. Now you figure that out. I'm pretty sure it was quarterly because it was a 24-page newsletter. 27 issues, corner gathering, and all she was doing was full of 24 pages of testimonies, every single issue of people who had been led miraculously or divinely and providentially led to relocate to northwest Arkansas, the corner. So there's a lot of people there that have a very, very strong understanding of what God's doing. So, it's quite a bit bigger than that, but I give them a lot of credit there. It's very interesting. One of the, to touch back on that idea that there's so many people here in this region, and the reason they're here is what the message they've been given is to, shelter, food, healing, help other people. I need to be ready to help as many other people as possible, because I know they're going to show up with nothing but a shirt on their back. And even in that document, the geological assessment, he says that. And so these people here, and the population right now is something on the order of, I don't know, I'm going to guess, because you're talking multiple states here, but something around maybe 10 million. Well, probably 1 million of those people have on their heart that they've been led here, brought here to help other people when they show up. Now, conversely, up here, you have people that are going to shoot first, ask questions later. Us four, no more. I'm going to defend my food, by shooting you. And so these are very selfish people, selfish-minded people. And some are Christians, but they still have what I call a survivalist mentality, which is like anti-biblical. In my estimation, I've come to that position. Christian survivalist is an oxymoron. Take up your cross and follow me. Deny yourself. Serve others. How do you spell joy? Jesus, others, yourself. When you spell it yodge, which is a Christian survivalist, is a yodge. Yourself and then others. And I'm a Christian. Don't tell me I'm not a Christian. I'll kill you. It's not funny. You know, it's sad, but that's, you know, I mean, people have said that to me, you know, like threatening me. So there's, you know, goats up here, sheep here. So you have a coalescing, and what I've come to say is that, and I'm going back to the population and the number of people that I see, you know, it really doesn't make any difference what I believe. It doesn't make any difference what, you know, you believe, Steve, or, you know, anybody here. What matters is what God is going to do, what He has been doing, what He has planned from creation for this upcoming point in time. You know, there's a lot of people that want to run off to South America and Central America and get out of America. America's going down. America's going to be destroyed. Well, yes, Babylon is going to be destroyed, and yeah, it does center in New York, wherever New York is, over there somewhere. United Nations and the banking system and all that. Yes, that is going to be taken down. But this has been what I came to over the years, is that as in the land of Egypt, as God was bringing His people out, they, this is an awesome map. We'll get to that in a minute. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Thanks for having this. Okay, He wants to bring His people out of Egypt, free them, liberate them, bring them into the promised land. So obviously we have somewhat of a parallel in prophetic and foreshadowing and pre-typing and everything of what's upcoming. Because we all know that Passover was fulfilled, Pentecost was fulfilled, Tabernacles will be fulfilled, you know, on the day of, you know, on the day of trumpets and atonement and Tabernacle. So what we see foreshadowed there. So what happened in Egypt as they were being freed? Plagues, the first 3 or 4 plagues, you know, affected the entire everybody. But after that, in Egypt was an area where Israel was, that land of Goshen, and there were no plagues there. And so that's been my coming understanding that there's a place in the United States that is a safe place for His people. And it may be that all the rest of the thing is annihilated. One of the very, very first, other than the fact, let me touch back. We moved from Denver in '97. And if somebody's actually listening to me and I go, you know, rewind, tell me what I was talking about. Whatever I was talking about there, tell me in a minute. But we moved from Denver to Kansas, north of Topeka, and we knew all up and down the Front Range. I mean, if there was a meeting, we went, and we took our kids. Elaine and I determined from the outset that we were not going to shield and baby, and you know, we weren't going to crawl into the bed and suck our thumb and stick our head between the railroad tracks. You know, Forrest Gump, I mean not Forrest Gump didn't say it, but a guy named Thomas Cook, a book Implantable Microchip, he was one of the speakers of Prophecy Club, which every time there was a Prophecy Club meeting, we went. That's how Anna got married. Met at the Prophecy Club, Jeff. And so Thomas Cook made the statement, he says, and I do it in Forrest Gump back, said, well, you can stick your head in between the ties of the railroad track, and you won't see the train coming, but your butt is still going to keep running over, you know. And that's the truth of it. So we determined not to do that. So we were, you know, up and down the Front Range. So we knew lots and lots of people. And if anybody knows who Mark Kernke was, I rode in the car with him down to Walsenburg, and there were more